TNC, and now going to continue on. So God's taking a look at these early drafts. It does look like it's going to be Skem playing off-lane Tusk. Any real thoughts coming out right away about this one?
It feels like both teams took a lot of what we saw at the major and are trying to, iterate on it, put their own bit of flair on it. We've got the carry IO, which looked unbeatable. But then on TNC side, we have this big team fight around a Mars Phoenix, which was another go-to, very kind of comfortable, just team fight composition when you're fighting around it, really easy execute. But they put their own bit of flair of it, going for this heavy burst of PA Quap. I think that's kind of, their way of feeling like they can beat the carry IO. I'm curious how much TNC's played against it, because it did look, it lost one game out of like 10 plus games at the major, so it's very hard to beat.
Right, and I can remember a couple of the games from the Southeast Asia DPC as well where we saw carry IO getting played, and I think it was originally, I want to say it was like Fnatic that I saw running it, and they won a couple games. Neon was able to take them down. I don't remember if it was against the carry IO, but as you said, iteration is something that we've seen become pretty relevant, and it's happened throughout the season where teams are getting better with these picks and making the sort of combos better, and now we're sort of seeing the end result of all of that at the major, and now of course here moving on with it.
Yeah, I'm curious just whether or not as teams play against it more, maybe they'll get better at understanding how it works and beating it, but so far we've yet to see an obvious answer as far as the best way to play against it.
True. Well, at least at these early goings, not quite as big of a problem as we saw in the other days. These two teams, definitely some of the best that we've got in this tournament. I think at this point the other day it was almost like a 2,000 gold lead, but not the case this time around. Daniel trying to trade a couple of hits here with Tims and Bach, obviously playing in Wars, Phoenix. So much potential fake hook damage going on. And Natsumi has a couple of tangos here, but I think they're going to need to bring out some more regen for themselves relatively soon. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Nice thing for the IO lane, and you can always share that with regen. So when your support's tanking all that damage, top lane. Leap in, they want Boomy, but can't quite get it.
Radiant's top tower.
Close go of it there. And we can take a look as well midnight now. Armel, everybody was talking about Yopaj at this most recent major. There's some talk about Abed as well, obviously a former Southeast Asia player. Now we're going to claim him in North America. Thank you very much. But at the very least, I think people kind of forgot about Armel. They forgot about how good this guy is, and he's doing a great job so far against Yopaj. 10-4 now on the squad versus the 8-1 of the DP.
Yeah, if you go back like a few years ago when TNC were international lands, my favorite mid matchup to watch was Armel against no one. They felt like the two most mechanical, just dominant mid laners next to maybe like Sumail. So yeah, Armel is incredibly skilled, but Yopaj is kind of the young new up. And like you say, at the major, he was just inspiring with some of his play, just so involved, so active. And if anything, it never felt like he was letting down his team in any of the games. It was always up to his team to maybe step it up a bit.
Absolutely. Well, and they're going to need to do that here as well, as you can see already using some tag team on to Gabby. Hit the stun afterwards. Why not? Does have a jump, but can't quite get in range of the creeps. Will be able to do it now after popping that stick charge. Lots of pressure in this lane here.
Ooh, doesn't get him. Yeah, trying to cancel the salve, but even those trades are still really good for Neon, even when they're not getting kills, because it just forces out a full salve plus some tangos, and Neon took no damage to do that. So they're winning the regen battle. They're zoning the PA away from these last hits and forcing PA to buy more salves, more tangos, making that lane really, really rough.
Absolutely. And you can see there is still CS lead that we're having into the favor. It's not anything super pronounced, and if anything, it really just feels like these lanes maybe are built a little bit. I don't know. I guess up top's a little bit of an aberration, right? Because you've got that Tusk and the Mirana. Maybe that's going to become more favored into their lead as levels get up and you get more points up in tag team and all those other things.
Yeah, I think like level 3, level 4, that lane can get really scary for the PA. The nice thing with PA and just picking cores in general against Tusk is having heroes that can get away from Tusk. Getting out of the as well as away from the snowball. And both Quap as well as PA, they have these blinks to kind of disengage. Phoenix has a dive, so they've drafted really well against this Tusk pick, it feels like.
Okay, I like that. Well, we'll see if they can, sort of be able to avoid it. And of course, since it is that core Tusk, it's, all the more important that you're able to get those counters out there. as he is trying to queue up right now. Some early phase boots, it looks like. Does also have that Orb of Corrosion on the horizon. And at least for now, this Armel Queen of Pain really feels like it's kind of the story of what we're seeing so far. A level ahead just about of Yopaj.
It's my right.
And yeah, they got this Queen of Pain. This was kind of the go-to mid pick against Death Prophet. Throughout the game, you've got the burst damage to blow her up during Exorcism, and in the lane, it's one of the heroes that just does against Death Prophet than others. We'll see Queen of Pain try and get back to secure a bounty rune.
Ooh, well, tries to get the stomp, will be able to connect. Yopaj moving into position, but the stomp is not long enough. They do break through that bottle and trying to slow down a couple. Could go for the turn here onto this Death Prophet. Blinks forward, dives in aggressively for this one. Yopaj trying to live. The stomp connects, but first blood going to be drawn by Tims and Armel. Trying to live through, won't be quite enough there in the end. And Tims actually doesn't have a dive away here either. Elder Titan's going to try and chase him down a little bit, and there is a bottle still on this Phoenix, so that will keep him from getting killed off as they do back away yet again.
Yep. The nice thing for TNC, though, is they actually have this Clockwork mid who's getting this mid lane XP and farm while it's an empty mid lane. So Neon miss out on some CS, miss out on some XP. I think overall that's better for TNC. And it almost looked like the co-op who could have at least tried to run away from the ET was just like, look, I already got this kill. I'm no health, no mana. It was like she kind of wanted to die just so that she could reset, have the full health, full mana pool, and go back to lane. So overall, slight win for TNC, getting first blood and also having that support in the mid lane to leech the XP and gold.
Start for them indeed, as those rotations came for those bounty runes. Of course, that did free up a little bit more space on the side lane since all that action was happening mid, and now you can see Natsumi has this lane to himself, and Tusk is caught up in CS pretty handsomely, in fact. Almost level 6 on this Tusk. Boulder's Punch can start to become a little bit deadly as they move in with Play Hard. Yopaj is nearby as well, looking for that arrow. Follow-up misses onto Boomy. They should still have enough for the kill, simultaneously pressuring the tower.
Yeah, Exorcism committed, so I don't mind this, but I don't think it's like one of those plays where, Neon's going to get a tower without losing one, but it is committing an Exorcism just for a tower, not for a fight. But with the Arcane Rune, it's going to have a very low cooldown, so that's where I think Yopaj was looking to make sure he got, whenever you have an Arcane Rune, you generally almost certainly want to find an Exorcism somewhere, even if it is just for some tower damage.
Yeah. They do manage to take that one. Maybe going to shut down the map a little bit more against Gabby, but I guess the real test is going to be for Neon when they decide to move mid and see if they can pressure and take that mid tower. That's the one that really gives that jungle control.
And I would expect that's what TNC want to, try and hold the line a bit, defend it. Hopefully by then they're thinking we want level 6s on Phoenix, so we can have that big team fight. Speaking of Phoenix, Tims almost gets blown up, but that was a point.
Yeah, able to get out of there. Playhard is still in the area. Tim's almost tied to creeps, actually. As Boomy looks to run down Scam. Gabby in the area as well, throws out the dagger, but there is nothing else left there. 4 heroes from TNC up in the jungle at the moment.
Yeah, I think PA was just like, this is not worth it. Like, we're way too hard for a kill we're probably not getting. PA just needs to farm. And I imagine we'll see those other cores of TNC starting to group up soon around the arena and the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave to take those big team fights. If they can slow down Natsumi on the eye with his item timing, he's fantastic. So that's one option for them as far as rotating, but they're going to be careful. If they over-rotate bottom, that's when the Death Prophet can take that mid tower. Like you suggested, the big thing is going to be that tier 1 mid. If Death Prophet can take that early, that's a problem for TNC.
Absolutely. Something to watch for here. Likewise, we haven't really talked about it all that much, but the Mars Bulk quietly has been shooting to the top of the net worth chart. He's kind of been left alone, going for this sort of tanky up build, bracer, full wand, has a bottle, phase boots, and maybe going to try and put a little bit of pressure on to counter out the top tier 1 tower that was taken already by Neon.
They know Io's coming back yet. Armel has made that rotation. The Io ball actually hit the Queen of Pain in this, so I think they know something's up.
Yeah. And they do manage to get out of there. That would have been a big one. But yeah, the rotation, trying to find kills does not look like next. So TNC should be able to get this tower, but yeah, not being able to get that tasty IO kill.
It was a cool play. They sold the IO back to Fountain just to get the helm and probably heal up a bit. And then Quap finds where the IO is relocating back to. Unfortunately, the Mars Phoenix were just a bit far away. They're pushing the lane. It's not their job to be behind that tier 1 tower. They have to push the lane. So it's no one's fault. It was just like well played by Nitro that he relocated in a very safe position.
Well, and a really good reaction here by TNC, recognizing everybody from Neon came down bottom. They were the ones that rotated, in fact, and now, you know, TNC, they just back out, play it cool as a cucumber.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, like you pointed out, this Mars is just huge. Not a hero you normally expect to see like top of the net worth like this, but Bok is just farming up a storm, not rotating out of his lane, just happy to continue to apply pressure.
Oh, and Skem gonna go in. Gets caught there by the spear, but the stomp afterwards onto two. Can find a kill here. Doesn't it? Bok caught off by the shards. They find another one. Armel is in deep, but he can't do anything else here.
Tower is under attack.
Two quick
Without
kills.
no supernova, that's where, you know, you can have that arena. I mean, the arena only called a tusk there. It felt like they were just throwing spells to try and secure a bounty rune, so that in itself probably wasn't worth it. But Neon had numbers, were ready to fight, didn't even need to use any big ultimates. It was just, you know, tag team right clicks with some, you know, arrow didn't even land, they landed spells. They just had a numbers advantage and were willing to commit to the rune in the...
And you know, this is one of those moments where the Tusk offlane, I think, really does show a good amount of that strength, as they will kill off that courier. But, you know, normally not this high level. Level 8, 3.9 strength gain. He's at 1,500 HP right now. You know, this guy, he's not easy to take down.
Nice arrow coming through. Doesn't hit a hero, but takes the siege wagon, which is better. I think that's honestly probably what he was aiming for, to slow down from the push and bottom. And mid lane, Neon's like, that move bottom. That's exactly what we want, because we've got an exorcism and we can pressure this mid tier 1.
Very impressive stuff right here. They will use the glyph, though, as Bok will go down yet again, comboed by the Tusk and the Mirana. This dynamic duo is putting in a lot of work, and now, after the glyph, they should be able to take this tower with Exorcism still running.
Yep, they just need one more creep wave. They couldn't keep the siege wagon alive, but they said that's fine. Exorcism is better than a siege wagon, and that killed Mars. Just shut down the push without the arena. That's basically the most important spell in the team fight, and the supernova. That's the synergy they're looking for to defend towers, and PA's not ready to fight. Corp requires that setup, so TNC just have to give it up.
You know, after how well Armel was doing in the lanes, you look at it now, almost 1,000 gold behind Yopaj. It's really felt. Oh, the arrow, it connects right onto Armel out of nowhere. Oh, play hard. Really well done to freehand that one. And as I was talking about it, Quap just keeps on tumbling down this net worth chart. Just has not been able to get involved in anything. 0, 2, and 1.
Beautiful Dota. Neon, I love the way they're playing. You mentioned the Tusk Mirana. It's those two right now, you know. It's still very early days and no one's won this game yet, but they've been the early game. They're just making plays everywhere they go, using the early game Tusk. You mentioned how tanky he is, and just he also dishes out so much damage because of tag team, which enables his own damage and his teammates. So that duo is just causing all kinds of problems for TNC, who haven't been successful. They've made rotations, they rotated bottom, then they tried to defend mid. I mean, they were trying to defend mid, they just never assembled together. They had the Martin, he gets picked, then Queen of Pain gets picked off, and no hero being there to defend the tower, despite TNC wanting to defend it.
Right, and I can't help but think how reminiscent this is of the old Adroit, the way that they would play, where, you know, you had, at times, it was Puck and Boomy that were running around the map, making a ton of space for Natsumi. He's just off on the other side of the map, free farming. He's halfway to an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, he's like, you know, my hero comes online later. Yeah, Manaya, but I'm not going to be relocating into fights I don't need to. It's not like, you know, you offer a whole lot until you have those items, and you can kind of frontline, be that unkillable IO tank dishing us some spirit damage.
Ooh, wants to blow up Tim's, but won't get it off before the supernova comes out, but it's not protected by the Mars. They already take down Januel, and, well, the relocate does keep alive Skem for the moment, as now they try and turn, see if they can take down the Mars. They will. 2 for 1 so far. Neon just a little bit too tanky. In the stack. Yeah. Oh, they have Battle Fury on PA. They really don't want to give this up. Yeah, they just, I mean, this is going to be tense. This is going to be close. They need to come back in again.
There's no ultimates. TNC have no ultis to fight this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're still going in, and with the tag team and the right clicks, they're going to take the whole freaking thing.
Yep. Well, they're buying back for it.
The stack's almost all the way gone now. You buy back there, and you get 2 big creeps. That one hurts.
Yeah, at that point, you're just like, okay, fine, you can take it, PA. We already won this fight, forced a buyback, got a lot of kills. And Boomy might die back here.
Boomy will die back. He came back in only for a moment. Armel now tries to walk out of there. They've got the silence afterwards. If they want to hit it, they do. Ooh, good illusion rune, though. Keeps alive that Quap. That would have been disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing that aggressive probably because he has the illusion rune, but still, that would have been a disaster if the Queen of Pain also died there. But even so, I'd say it's still a disaster for Queen of Pain. This is your mid laner, and down near the bottom of the net worth chart, only 4-point net worth for a plus gold behind the mid death profit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think it's worth noting that this was mainly done, it felt like, by sort of Neon anticipating ganks, being able to dodge them. You know, the laning stage, it wasn't like Armel got like completely outlaned or anything. It was mainly like a team effort to keep down Armel's farm.
Yeah, all these mid-game plays, when you make those
Radiant
rotations,
are
if they don't,
scanning.
can your opponents, you know, are taking towers and objectives and making the plays that we're seeing Neon make, the Tusk Mirana, you know, just getting involved in kills all over. They're the ones who are just getting further. And they're doing this while the IO farms, which is, you know, similar to TNC. You know, PA's been farming while these rotations happen, but just feels like IO's had more of the map open to farm, and also is just a more efficient farm when it gets battle carry.
Right. He does that battle
Scan,
carry.
maybe.
And
Or not.
No, he is very strong. They have an IO
Yeah,
by
he's-
now.
Now he's got the IO backing him up.
What a monster.
Holy crap, that's a tanky Tusk.
Yeah. I like this item build he's on for here too. Salve with the invent on him. A little bit unfortunate there. Gives you almost no regen. Yeah. Those are the worst when you're like trying to pull a camp or something and then you got Tango running and terrible. Ooh, good arrow.
Nice.
Snowball in afterwards with the tag team. The punch, they take him down again. And Neon just rolling.
Well done, my beauty.
Mention the sus item build. I agree. It's fantastic for Cortex to have these items. They make him so tanky. They give some bonus damage, some nice mana regen. The orb giving him this minus armor is really nice. Like it's just like these perfect small cost-effective items that make the Tusk basically this hero that can dominate the early to mid game. 2k health almost. He's huge.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you've got the IO backing him up. And, you know, I mean, even ET in a way is sort of a kind of cool backup to the Tusk in this way, feels like. Because, you know, you can sort of cover him with the stomps and stuff. It's a really strong early
Radiant's
game
top tower is
combo
under
team.
attack.
And I guess the big question is going to be, you know, as this game goes later, does Gabby have what it takes
Radiant
along with, you know, a
structures
couple of
are
Armel
fortified.
Sonic waves to
Dire's
burst these
bottom
heroes?
tower
And
is under
I'm not really
attack.
sure. It's feeling tough.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to see if TNC, you know, it's gonna be that item
Radiant's
timing, that
top tower is
PA
under
3
attack.
item timing, the Battle Fury,
Dire's
Deso,
bottom
BKB,
tower
where
is under attack.
they probably have their best chance. The scary thing is, it feels like Neon at that point are gonna
Dire's
be
bottom
really far
tower
ahead.
has fallen.
They're gonna have armor items.
Radiant's
At this
top
point, you know, they
tower
haven't
is
got any
under
of those, like,
attack.
you know, tanky armor items yet, but I imagine they'll come later. They start itemizing for PA, maybe some Bs against Mars Phoenix, but
Dire's
you
bottom
know, this
tower
PA is going
is
to have a
under
rough
attack.
time until BKB's up, and even then, you know, they're just going to look to kite around the PA's BKB as much as possible.
Scepter lift up, Yopaz down to half HP. They're able to cancel that Sunray, moving in afterwards. Exorcism rolling one by one. Keeping on the chopping. They do blow and then forward. Chasing. That Sumi is in there. They take down
Yeah.
3.
Getting all that movement from Death Prophet. Mirana hit a hell of an arrow on that Phoenix. It wasn't aimed at the Phoenix, I think it was aimed at like the Queen of Pain, who was thrown up in the air, but it went through, hit the
Dire's
Phoenix, who was
structures
Sunray,
are fortified.
with some hills, and then without a supernova, they had
middle
no
tower
chance to
is
take
under
that fight on the
attack.
TNC side, so Mirana dies, but that's just like they committed Sonic Wave. If you're gonna commit Sonic Wave on a support, that support's probably gonna die.
Radiant's
It's not
bottom
a big
tower
deal for
is
Obi
under
Neon.
attack.
No, you're perfectly happy with that one for sure. Man, looking at what's coming out soon here as well, we've got an
Tusk is
Imp Claw
always ready
on
for
Skem, and he's
fight.
going for that Deso, just trying to chase down Gabby here. He doesn't quite get in range to break that blur, but it's about to be danger zone.
Radiant's bottom tower
This looks
is
very
under
scary.
attack. Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, that's
has
so much
fallen.
right click. That's going to be demolishing people. Like, none of these heroes can really tank through. Like, a tag team Walrus Punch is going to remove like, it's going to insta-kill these supports. Heroes like Mars Co-op will lose like half or more of their health maybe, and with any second hero just going to die to it.
Yeah, this is really scary. I mean, how much minus armor is that? You get 3 from the corrosion, then on top of that you got a Deso. That's pretty terrifying.
Radiant's bottom
Phoenix basically gonna be back down to 0. Oh, good hook shot in, but again they're going on this Tusk snowball to save him. They're able to catch onto the Clockwork, and he just gets obliterated. They do lose Skem, so a nice pickup there, much needed, but maybe a sign of things to come. Leaps away, play hard, goes down. All right, TNC back at it, playing aggressive.
And if they can get themselves in Roche here, that would be huge for TNC, but I don't know if they can. These are fairly low respawn timers, and even with the PA, Roche is possible, but it's not going to be like the fastest thing in the world at this point. So instead, they're going to go look to secure themselves some runes, but Neon have already grabbed both of the bottom ones.
Well played indeed. Yeah, that's what you want to see is Neon also going to be going forward to these BKBs here. Relative Natsumi thinking about chasing down Hawk a little bit, but Side's better of it. And as you shift into the timing for Gabby coming up, is at least one component of that BKB is there. As much as that's going to be nice, though, I'm still worried about the strength of, Lotus Punch going through BKB, Exorcism. There's still a lot of damage out there that BKB doesn't deal with.
Yeah, I totally agree with Gabe. They're going to have to... PA is going to have to be going for these supports in the back lines. Or, realistically, their only way to win a fight is to blow up the Death Prophet during... If Death Prophet gets Exorcism up, you have to blow her out. That's how you win a team fight in a big, convincing way. You can avoid her and go for the supports, maybe kind of like we saw last fight, but Death Prophet's going to kill multiple heroes. Same for the Tusk. Same theoretically for the Io. So I don't think you can try these cute plays. You're just going to have to, try and go in on the front lines and do as much kill for Death Prophet, or she's good.
Sure enough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but they move on in. Oh man, get away from the danger guy. Those shards do connect. Does not study. Oh my god, the arrow. Got him. Ooh, okay, Arena trying to keep it alive, but it's not gonna happen. Daniel was there.
They played that so well. Wow. They don't even commit a single ultimate, and it's TNC who lose Phoenix, and the Mars commits Arena. They're pinging Roshan. They know. They're like, okay, this PA needs an Aegis to really make it win a team fight for TNC. Let's get it for ourselves. And not even needing an extra tag team in the IO plus right click, they're taking this Roche with ease.
Very dangerous stuff here. Clockwork is going to flare it, knows that it's going on, but as you said, there's just nothing they can do at this point. Let's see, Shiva's Guard coming out for Armel. That's going to be pretty helpful, I think. Obviously, getting the armor and then built into that the negative buffs. They won't get the health regen as much, but they just need these items right now when he's just a little bit away.
Yeah, it feels like it's been catch-up mode since left the laning stage where TNC had a stage. You mentioned how well Queen of Pain was doing in lane, but once those lanes fell apart, Yopaj gets an Arcane Rune, takes top tower, later on takes mid tower, they've just been crushing it. And of course, a BKB.
Oh my god, down so low, jumps away, trying to get out of there, Chinny while chasing good Yule Scepter. Gabby not able to get out though. They lose to, and Armel goes for the blink away, blinks down south with the Invis Rune. That might be enough to keep him alive. But man, losing the PA right before BKB, she was so close.
Yeah, that's what they're waiting for here, and unfortunately, not sure they're going to have, even she'll finish it before this game ends, but it just feels like the deficit is getting bigger and bigger while PA not ready to fight.
Oh, so not quite able to finish off the Phoenix there. Showing a little bit of rust with the new Spirits control, but that's fine.
I like his item build too. Yeah. You usually see like the Heart of Tarrasque, but he's going for the AC, knowing that the physical damage from the PA that poses the biggest risk.
Still a lot of risk just walking into any lane. Mars gets ran down. And Neon doing whatever they want with this game. Gonna smoke cross map immediately afterwards. Yopaj leading the way. Let's get pushed back there. Arrow going out afterwards, trying to fly and connect on somebody. Almost got Gabby there, clipping on the backside of it, but they're going to be able to force him completely to the other side of the map. They're underneath the ward right now, even. And it doesn't look like they're going to go for it. Instead, maybe down bottom towards Armel. Oh, this is dangerous.
Saw the scream.
Is under attack.
He blinks over to the side, and they're going to get caught. Oh, no. Arrow, good Yules, but I believe that's a punch up in the air and then taken down for dead. Sick stuff for Neon.
Yeah, Neon just so far ahead now. This Tusk is having a field day. He's an armed hero on the team. It's this IO and this Death Prophet who are the ones getting more and more fun. They find Bok again, who's just, crushed his lane in terms of getting last hits, but haven't found a way to impact the game in terms of fights one bit at all. And I think TNC is showing a bit of inexperiences with the Mars Phoenix, not able to set up any good team fights around it, and just really struggling against Neon right now.
Boomy does manage to get the hook shot back to his base on the creeps that had just spawned, but it's a tough situation when that's what you got to do and it's your best move. Oh, Scam, he found Gabby yet again. Relocate not there, but he might just be able to solo her, to be honest. Gabby trying to get out of there. Doesn't have another snowball though. Arrow coming a bit too late.
That's a PA running the hell away from an offlane Tusk in like a kind of 1v1 situation. That's a problem. I mean, there was backup coming for Tusk, but I think even if it was a 1v1, PA was not winning that one against the Tusk.
Blinks in, does have BKB still. Gotta run, gotta hide. Yopash is there, pops the BKB, finally trying to get out of there, but Gabby is going to die. That was a 10-second BKB, and now Spirit's moving in, trying to take down the Quap. She's gonna die as it continues to just be a bloodbath here. Bok getting absolutely obliterated. Will he fall as well? It's close. He is gonna go down. Tims manages to get that egg off as Natsumi relatively low, but not low enough yet, and still had the Aegis to boot. They're making it look easy.
I mean, like you say, they all did get low. I think Natsumi willing to, push it because he's got that great job backing up Yopaj, who was just diving with Exorcism, and now they get the little heal trip. They're like, okay, we don't need to relocate for a fight. Let's just use it. Go back to base, heal up, get some new items, and we can continue to maintain complete map control, deny PA from farming these Ancients. That's the PA's 10-second BKB, used to try and run away unsuccessfully, still dies. You kind of have just so much physical damage that can go BKB between the Exorcism and the Tusk. It is rough times.
That's about to become that much rougher as well, as the AC is now done. I don't think that they're anywhere close to that on the items for TNC at the moment. So even that big way that you had to try and come back into this game with the PA, crits, it's going to be that much less effective. Rapier really does feel like it's the only salvation here, and it's just so far away from it on Gabby. The Neon team has been looking really good.
Yeah, to queue it up this early is very much highlighting that we are in desperation times for TNC.
Oh, and the arrow. It catches again. Wanting to blink away. Bok does get the Yule Scepter lift up afterwards. They're diving in for more, blowing up. Actually, they did lose the Tusk. Okay, maybe a chance here. Buybacks galore. Well, trying to control, gets off that stomp, doesn't connect down to anybody. This is a good BKB use from Gabby, and they chase down any more afterwards. It's like they're looking now for a turn. Natsumi and Yopaj in the area. Boomy, the push back there with the cogs, and it looks like TNC are going to call off the charge here, although will be one left behind, and now looking forward for more. Yopaj gets the silence. He's coming back here, and they're able to connect for the kill. At Icarus Dive, not able to cancel it. And now another tier 2 taken. Looking a little bit better for TNC, but it's just such a huge deficit at this point.
Yeah, that was like a fight without Exorcism. I think that's really the main reason. But also they had to commit a lot of buybacks and still getting ran over now. The Exorcism's back up.
Snowball back to the creeps. The tier 3 towers are going to fall. We'll see if they decide to go for that second set of racks next. Still have a lot of Exorcism to be used. And, well, back towards mid, they're going to relocate for Armel. Oh, man. Nowhere is safe. against the IO trap.
Yeah, at this point, it's just you're trying to demoralize your opponents. Luckily for TNC, there is a lower bracket. Unluckily, this is a best of one. This is, putting yourself in the lower bracket, giving away that carry IO. I don't think they would make that mistake again, but you don't get a game 2 to learn from it. It's a, best of one, and I feel like giving them the IO was just a big mistake in hindsight.
Absolutely. And we will see Clockwork go down yet again. The spear is going to connect back onto Natsumi. Manuel tries to hit the stomp. Sonic Wave will connect finally, getting themselves a couple of kills here. But it feels like a fool's errand at this point, trying to take down any of these heroes, really. Although, maybe with Natsumi getting lower and the Aegis being gone, there's a chance for a turnaround. They do get the Supernova up as well. Gotta run. Yopash, Spider Legs up to the high ground. With that, looks like finally TNC able to claim a little bit of ground here on their high ground. Playhard is going to get ran down here as well.
Going a bit too deep, perhaps. And also committing all these buybacks. I think, again, the lesson has to be, when you have Exorcism, you can fight. When you don't, you should probably back off. Like, if it's a 5v5, like, without Exorcism, like, you can maybe hold your own, but they didn't have numbers. They were kind of outnumbered. PA, BKB, you still have to kind of respect the damage output this PA can do, and Exorcism was the main way that PA was dying during BKB before. So without it, Neon just overstayed their welcome in the TNC side of the map.
Well, and the thing that is worth looking at a little bit here, Gabby, 1,000 gold off finishing Rapier. I mean, that's what that big throw will give you a little bit. There's a hint away. It's still going to be ridiculously hard to come back from this. But if there's a way to do it, Gabby Rapier is definitely the path you want to take.
Totally agree. It's definitely not over. It feels like, there's at least that, slim 5 minutes of a comeback, and Rapier's the only way it happens. Neon have for the PA, going for the AC, going for the Shiva's Guard. Don't deny it, and you see it often, but basically, whatever the best armor item you can get is what these heroes are doing. Rape online. This is it. TNC forward to lose this Rapier, or it's game over, and happy to destroy and clean up these fights.
What do you like more for the 25 on PA, the triple dagger or the better chance for the crit?
Usually I'll say there, but at least it's more like reliable damage. The crit you don't notice as much, but obviously you're critting more, which generally speaking is how you can blow people up. But I would lean towards the triple daggers, because the daggers themselves have a chance to crit, so you're throwing more. There's a high one can crit, but
Dire are scanning.
that's typically what I see. But here we go, smoke on smoke.
In, wants to get it. Arena already down. What do we got as Mars is basically dead? Gabby getting chased on the snowball. They've got the true strike through it, and it's going to be Rapier on the deck. Immediately loses it. Armel, did he manage to pick that one up? No, it's still on the ground. They're going to pick that one up for somebody, but immediate tip afterwards by Skev as they chase down more. GG is called. It's a valiant effort, TNC, but in the end, Neon will best of one.
A fun game, that's for sure. Unfortunately for TNC, it was more fun for Neon than I think it was for them. Neon getting to play a very comfortable pick with the carry, and this didn't feel like the answer of